Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning everyone. We are from group 6. Consists of myself, Saadah, Hanifah Laudasari and Ika Nur Aini. Here we will present our material entitled The Concept of Referencing. Okay, let's get into it. So what is referencing? Referencing allows you to acknowledge the contribution of other writers and researchers in your work. Any university assignments that draw on the ideas, words, or research of other writers must contain citations. Referencing is also a way to give credit to the writers from whom you have borrowed words and ideas. By citing the work of a particular scholar, you acknowledge and respect the intellectual property rights of that researchers. As a student or academic, you can draw on any of the millions of ideas, insights, and arguments published by other writers, many of whom have spent years researching and writing. All you need to do is acknowledge their contributions to your assignment. So, in referencing, we have 3 techniques. The first one is quotation, the second one is summarize, and the third is paraphrase. So, what is quotation? A quotation is a set of words written or spoken by someone else, used just as they are with no variation. Quoting is when you use the exact words from a source. Generally, you will need to put quotation mark around the words that are not your own and cite where they came from. So there are 2 types of quotation. The first one is direct quotation and the second one is indirect quotation. Direct quotation is the report of the exact words of an author or speaker and is placed inside quotation marks in a written work. A direct quotation must always be placed inside quotation marks. Meanwhile, indirect quotations mean supporting what someone said or wrote, but not using their exact words. It is similar to paraphrasing, but it only involves changing enough words to fit the statement into your statement grammatically. Example, changing the tense or the pronouns. One has to keep in mind, since some of the words have changed, indirect quotations are not enclosed in quotation marks. Now we move to the example of direct quotation. First, this evidence is overwhelming at this point. Journalist and cookbook author Mark Bittman explained, "You eat more plants, you eat less other stuff, you live longer." This signal phrase or verb convey a sense of trust in the author. The second example, journalist and cookbook author Mark Bittman flippantly hypothesized, "You eat more plants, you eat less other stuff, you live longer." This signal phrase or verb convey doubt about the author's claim. Next is the example of indirect quotation. Journalist and cookbook author Mark Bittman explains that you can eat more plants, you eat less other stuff, you live longer. And Dr. King said that he had a dream. Or he said that Jeffrey Dahmer was the worst. We can see that there is no quotation mark here.
Definition of summaries. A summary of a text is a brief statement of its main points. Since the textbooks are the summaries, the main area of each chapter. John can now quickly review each one. Reading and writing summaries is an effective way to study them texts. To summaries is briefly describe something important, and when readers summarize something, they use their one word to convey it. They read about the main ideas in a clear, concise manner. For instance, imagine a reader and summarize a biology text chapter. The reader may include 1 or 2 sentences for each concept in the chapter. There are 5 case steps that can help to read a summary, and Number one, read the text, break it down into sections, individually identify the key point in each section, write the summary, check the summary again, the article.
For the next material is paraphrasing. What is paraphrasing? A paraphrase is a rewriting of a specific passage from someone else. It's done in your own words without changing the original meaning and also not removing any information. Also, paraphrasing is an alternative to quoting or copying someone's exact words and putting them in quotation marks. In academic writing, it's usually better to integrate source by paraphrasing instead of quoting. It shows that you have understood the source, reads more smoothly, and keeps your own voice front and center. Every time you paraphrase, it's important to cite the source. Also, take care not to use wording that is too similar to the original. Otherwise, you could be at risk of committing plagiarism. Here are 5 easy steps to paraphrasing. Step 1. Read the passage several times to fully understand the meaning. Step 2. Note down the key concept. Step 3. Write your version of the text without looking at the original. Step 4. Compare your paraphrase text with the original one, and if you find phrases too similar, make change. And the last one is step 5. Cite the source of the text. You know the steps, but it's still quite difficult to actually produce a piece of text that's different from the original. Example of paraphrasing. Source text. The current research extends the previous work by revealing that listening to moral dilemmas could elicit a foreign language effect in highly proficient bilinguals. Here, it has been demonstrated that hearing a foreign language can even influence moral decision making and namely promote more utilitarian type decision. Brower, 2019, page 874. And then paraphrase. The research of Brower, 2019, page 874, suggests that the foreign language effect can occur even among highly proficient bilinguals, influencing their moral decision making when auditory rather than written prompting is given.